bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Okay, are we working? Germany, that idea came from a cameo. It's not even versus Hogwarts. It's a different idea. I'm not saying that you didn't post it there and somebody else see it, but no, it's not working. Don't do that to me, Steven. I'm tired. I need to finish this up. I'm not supposed to work today. I'm not supposed to be working today. Uh, reality is I'm not sure how tomorrow's going to go. Outside of doing the live stream, I may not do anything else. But I also, cameos need to get done. So I don't have a bunch of time to get those done. Does anyone else remember the 3.5 D20 Modern / D20 Future? Does anyone remember those? I just downloaded the D20 Future. Finally found it. I fucking love that thing. That was a fun campaign. I wound up playing, and it was one of the. I think it was like my third or fourth campaign I played. Period of D&D, and I wound up with mimic armor. That like was fluid armor type stuff. Not like mimic, like it was made of a mimic, but like I could control it type of thing. I could turn it into stuff. It was really weird. It was cool. Anyways, where's Slayer? Wanted to ask her about those dice. These ones? I still have a pack of these to give away, but as soon as I give those away, I'm not going to have any more to give away for a very long time. So I'm holding on to them. I'm going to wait for something like special, or like I feel the itch to give them away, that type of deal. I think what I'll do is I'll probably give them away after with one of the orders for the mouse pads. I'll probably do that. Give them away with the mouse pad orders. All right. So I'm going to show you guys the original that I recorded in case you guys hadn't seen it. And Chris was like, "Nah, let's this could be a bit better." In particular in two spots. He only had problems with two spots of this sketch. There was only two spots in this entire sketch, and they're at the fucking end. So we're gonna give it a watch. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute teacher. If I can get the sound to work. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute teacher at Hogwarts. That does not imply that you take the entire class on a field trip, mind you, during one of their most important time frames. There's supposed to be like a giant battle thing. Okay, if you didn't take the whole class, who did you all take? Because I just got a call from Voldemort saying that there's no one there. How did you fit the entire school? Magic school bus. Magic school. When we gave you TARDIS technology, it was not supposed to be used in this manner. To teach. Exactly what are you teaching them? Okay, I agree that violence isn't always the answer. It's a great lesson. I can't even argue with you. Oh, that's... Okay. Okay, rewind. Take a moment. This is a canon event. You need to go back. You can't change this. Fixed point in time? Of course, that wouldn't work with you. It doesn't matter how many times we've changed it. That's Well, this is a cameo request, so of course we're gonna modify this a little bit. But don't be smart with me. Go teach them about Muggle science. Yeah, just go teach them about Muggle science. It's gonna blow their minds. You know what? Teach them about plumbing. That will blow their minds. All right, can you guys guess the two spots that Chris had an issue with? Where is... We're fixing my cameras because it's just dark enough that it's causing an issue. So I'm trying to... Right about there. There we go. Not really. So it is around the end that he has a problem with, but it's not saving lines. It is quite literally let Miss Frizzle be the one that gets the idea about teaching them real science. Damn it. My phone is off kilter. Oh, save more lives than yeah. Can you imagine Miss Frizzle wanting to do isekai tours? All right. So the other one is to get rid of the cameo request. He doesn't think it would work a second time. Which so close together, I feel like that's a valid thing. There it goes. We definitely need that light. We definitely need this light, but I don't think I need this light as bright as it is. Let's swap it to... It's a good neutral color, but... And again, what you see and what I have on my camera are two entirely different things. No, don't exit out. I was in the process of fucking changing everything, damn it. Now I gotta start over. There it goes. All right, that should work. Where exactly it's cut off, like anything that ran off. No, there's no cutoff either. There's zero cutoff necessary. Let's go with more of a nighttime evening thing right now. Yeah. I hate how I've got shadow right here because I don't have enough bright light coming through, which wouldn't matter because we've got overcast. So I miss having natural lighting. I was going to say that. I thought, nah, he broke the fourth wall a few video goes. I have no problem breaking the fourth wall. It's breaking the fourth wall to sell a product that's a problem. Meant the Muggle tech not liking magic. Now, we're gonna change things up a little bit. I've got a script to kind of... Oh wow, that changes my lighting entirely. All right, we're good. That makes the lighting entirely unnecessary. Hold on, I gotta actually fix it. There we go. I can't seem to get into the Discord. You are posting on the scroll. I get an invalid invite error. I don't know why that happens periodically. Usually it means that at some point, like you might have typed it in incorrectly. if you pop on to Twitch or you pop on to YouTube, you can actually click the link directly and it'll take you. I don't use filters on my camera. I use lights. All right. We're gonna try to just we're just gonna try. Three, two, one. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute teacher at Hogwarts. It's not. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute teacher at Hogwarts. That did not imply that you take the entire class on a field trip, unauthorized, mind you, during one of their most important time frames. There's supposed to be like a giant final battle of all battles going on, right? Okay, you didn't take the whole class. Then who did you all take? Because I just got a call from Voldemort saying that there's no one there, and he kind of needs somebody there in order for... How'd you fit the entire school into the magic school bus? Duh. You know, when we gave you TARDIS tech, it wasn't supposed to be used in this manner. To teach? Exactly what are you going to teach a bunch of wizards? Okay. I agree that violence isn't always the answer. Is a great lesson to teach them. I can't even be angry with you. I can't. Okay. Let's rewind. Take a moment. This is a canon event. Okay? You knew. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck. I don't like it. I did so well on my reactions and everything during the last one. The bearded ginger guy who used to be on College Humor? Who's the bearded ginger guy who used to be on College Humor? Really hope that's a good person. 3, 2, 1. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute teacher at Hogwarts. That did not imply that you take the entire class on a field trip, mind you, during one of their most important time frames. There's supposed to be like a battle of all battles going on right now. Okay. If you didn't take the whole class, who'd you all take? Because I just got a call from Voldemort saying that there's no one there, and he kind of needs somebody there to fight in order for things to kind of progress. And how'd you take the whole school on magic school bus? Magic. When we gave you TARDIS tech, it wasn't supposed to be used in this manner. You're to teach them? What exactly are you going to teach a bunch of wizards? Okay, I agree that violence isn't always the answer. Is a great lesson. I can't even argue with you on that. That's an awesome lesson to teach them. That's okay. I'm going to take a moment. We're going to rewind a little bit. This is a canon event. You need to go back. You can't change this. It's fixed point in time. Yeah, of course. I didn't think that would work with you. It doesn't matter how many times we've changed it. That's for the fans. Don't be smart with me. Exactly what type of muggle science are you going to teach them? That's the the last thing we need is a bunch of mages who can also use technology. That's how you get Star Wars, Miss Frizzle. Wait. Hold up. They actually used to magic their poop away. It might actually be a good thing in this case. It's not bad. I still like my original reactions. I had much preferred my original reactions. Did that not record? No, it did. Okay. I had a panic attack for a second. I hope that recorded. Hold on. Let me double check. I don't. No. Yeah. That recorded. Okay. Oh. No. Totally didn't have a moment where I was like, no. It was a good. All right. We're going to upload. Aren't TARDISes biological? They're technical. Actually, no, they're tech. They are not biological. His is biological. It's really weird. At least the original versions and what I read about TARDIS tech is that the regular ones are not biological. No. When did that get updated? When did that get updated? When did that get updated? Because I have a book somewhere running around here. It wasn't that. Because there's like legitimate stuff. What? That was retcon and the doctor's wife. Okay, so it's been retcon and then brought back. Holy shit! This is one of the things I'm talking about. Why you can't have a discussion with people about this stuff. And AI isn't gonna matter. Because in the Impossible Planet, there's that, but in the Doctor's Wife, it was retconned. Because the 10th Doctor said that they're grown. The 11th Doctor builds a TARDIS. And his TARDIS specifically was different than other people. What the fuck? I think there's specific parts. That are grown. There's too much stuff that's been retconned, gone back, and then I don't know, man. Like you, at a certain point, it's just like I just can't. No matter what you do, you're gonna be wrong. It's like with the angels, that all that stuff has been updated a million times, and it's like it all depends on where in the Doctor Who timeline you decide to go with. Irving, I'm well aware that the Doctor-specific TARDIS is sentient. That doesn't mean all of them are. That's the difference here. Could be biotech. Could be. It's one of those things where it's just I'm not gonna touch that. First of all, I don't like AI like at all, but at the same time, there's me and Chris have opinions on AI that don't quite match. And I'm not going to get into it because it's not necessary. If you've been in the live streams, you know I do not like generative AI. I don't like it. But AI as a tool in the medical field and stuff like that, I think is good. And that is a political topic, so it's not going to get brought up. Not in a video. Not unless it deals with a specific universe. Okay, so let's take a look at the video I just downloaded that I just did. You guys can see it from my angle. So let's get this so you can see it. We could definitely do the Gladys one, but you got to. It's kind of hard to do specific videos because of like our limitations. If we had more money to just do animations and do things like Death Battle does, we could do so many more videos. And we would still do them in a comedic way. I've got somebody down here with a phone that's gonna wind up having stuff. Are you gonna sit down? Okay.
It's dinner.
Probably here in a bit.
What's gonna be dinner?
Fish. If you don't want fish, I can make something else while I'm making fish. But you'll have to figure it out.
Mac and cheese?
No. It had to be something that I can stick in the oven.
The little hot dogs. Pigs and bacon.
You want me to make pig? That's 2 meals in their entirety. It would have to be something a little. Get your fucking hair out of your mouth. Like the pigs in the blanket, I have to make all 8 of those all at once on top of the fish, on top of that. So there would be, unless we cleaned out the fridge before I did dinner, I don't have room to make 2 separate meals like that. It would have to be, I make you something small, and I make everyone else that wants fish, because there's 3 other people in this house that do want fish.
Literally everyone else except me?
Huh?
Literally everyone else except me?
Yeah, you're the only one that doesn't want it. I can make I can make nuggets. I got nuggets somewhere in here, I think. I can also just cook up one of the pizzas. Why don't you go look in the deep freeze and the freezer upstairs and go from there? I need to press play. We need to go look at this over. Miss Frizzle, you were supposed to be a substitute teacher at Hogwarts. That did not imply that you take the entire class on a field trip, mind you, during one of their most important time frames. It's supposed to be like a battle of all battles going on right now. Okay. If you didn't take the whole class, who'd you all take? Because I just got a call from Voldemort saying that there's no one there. He kind of needs somebody there to fight in order for things to kind of progress. How'd you take the whole school? Magic school was. Magic. When we gave you TARDIS tech, it wasn't supposed to be used in this manner. To teach them? What exactly are you going to teach a bunch of wizards? Okay, I agree that violence isn't always the answer. Is a great lesson. I can't even argue with you on that. That's an awesome lesson to teach them. That's okay. Let's just. I'm going to take a moment. We're going to rewind a little bit. I know it's echoing. This is a canon event. You need to go back. You can't. Change this. It's fixed point in time. Yeah, of course. I didn't think that would work with you. It doesn't matter how many times we've changed it. That's for the fans. Don't be smart with me. Exactly what type of Muggle science are you going to teach them? That's the last thing we need is a bunch of mages who can also use technology. That's how you get Star Wars, Miss Frizzle. Wait, hold up. They actually used to magic their poop away. It might actually be a good thing in this case. Sorry. He chose the pizza. He chose the pizza. I was trying to say, sorry, that I liked the sketch. It worked good. We got to upload it. Sorry, I got distracted by child. And I find it fun, and I found it funny that he chose the pizza after all that. You guys didn't have things because I had a moment with kiddo. Yeah, he that's what was going on. I'm so sorry, everyone. I got distracted. And I totally spaced. I need to do the Predators hunt Samus during Metroid Fusion stuff. It's gonna have to be a call from the Predator side of things because Samus doesn't really like Samus talks, but like let's be honest, Samus doesn't need help in this case. Yeah, that pizza was $4 for $5, and it's the summer, so I stock up on things like that every couple weeks. I would love to do the Voldemort influencer thing, but without like the mask and stuff like that, it's not happening. I don't blame the tiny human. The tiny human's fine. Problem is that I've got fish that we're cooking for ourselves, and I couldn't make another giant meal for him on top of that. So, because I didn't want to make if I did the pigs in a blanket, it would be 8 servings versus just one because I can't just make one serving pig in the blanket with how things are, and I don't have enough room in the fridge to make all of it and then have a bunch of leftovers. So, we needed something that was a little bit easier. But I do like the reactions I did in the original one. It's much more natural. It's less like scripty. It's not like this is bad. It's not like I did a bad job with this. It just could have been better. And I am tired too. I get freezer bags. The problem is that thing is already frozen. And I also don't have any room in either of my freezers. Which is a good problem to have. I would like to point that out. It's a good problem to have. We went out and we restocked a bunch of food that we needed to be restocked, mostly by spending the last couple of weeks, like I would go get up even when I'm not usually getting up, and we would go and hit the early morning discounts. So I would find food that's discounted. And I'll be like, we can use this, this, and this. We can use this, this, and this. We can use this, this, and this. And when I filled up my freezers, and then afterwards, I was eating discounted food for the majority until they got out of school and that kind of stuff. And once they got out of school, we went out and grabbed. Just recently, we went and grabbed some more stuff. So we are going to be fine on food for a little. It also didn't help that I got sick. No one was very hungry for like a week. That's awesome, Steven. I'm glad you guys like that. Don't get me wrong. I love the when Cortana turned a little bit and then they had to sacrifice them and stuff. I don't love it, but I also didn't hate it. I should rephrase that. I'm okay with where they took the storyline. I just wish the gameplay would have been different. Thank you, Chris. We got another Chris. I would say after not eating for a while and then getting plump, that's probably a good problem to have. Like you said, you have a good problem. My kiddo Tobias has a bad problem. We had to get blood work because of this problem. Hopefully, he doesn't have any of the health problems that we're concerned about. But either way, doctor was like, "Hey, he needs to go on a diet." So right now it's like a lot of arguing, a lot of no, you can't eat that. No, you just ate. Stop asking for food. Not now, later. No, you're asking for now, and we know you're both asking for now. And this is like, are you eating that for lunch? Are you eating that for a snack? Because if you're eating pizza for a snack, that's a problem. It's been a lot. You're supposed to have fiber. It's it's been a lot. Yeah, I liked it. But like I just did not like the gameplay. Like I love the storyline of Halo. I really do. I think it's bullshit but at the same time, it shows how good they wrote it. I hated that she gave up her life in order to fix things, right? But at the same time, my frustration is built on the thing that I wanted a happy ending, and I'm not getting that happy ending. And it's not my story to tell. So I'm okay with that. You think that would work. But like the one that he has that we managed to snag for him, he's gonna break. Like it's first of all, it's already missing a bolt, and he just recently killed another chair. So I can't take it upstairs because he's gonna kill it. And I need him down here periodically to have him be on it. And he does about once a week when I'm down here. He'll come over there and he'll just pedal on it for 5 to 10 minutes, which is great. He's still getting some type of exercise. I just wish he was getting more. Huh? If you have a food city or a supermart, Walmart or like, you could pick your friend up with a container of what? Yeah, we need to get out more. We're gonna there's a library that isn't part of the main branches. Like Utah has this giant library system that's all like interconnected. They also all kind of look the same and they're very bland, right? And then you have Brigham City, and we now live close enough to Brigham City that we can go there, and they have like an independent, like old historical library that they still keep up and running. and it's fucking beautiful. And I want to go and see it in person. We have not seen it in person, but the pictures that are there are like old school 90s wood shelving, and that was built way back in the day that was just maintained the entire time. And I hope it's still like that with a few modern conveniences like Wi-Fi and stuff that we can go there. It looks relatively big, but it could be smaller than it looks like, and it could also be larger than it looks like. I don't know, but we got to go there. Something to snack on that is in fact healthy. Mine literally has fruit cups. Oh, that's what you mean. No, he doesn't have a problem eating that. It's just a matter of actually like keeping it in the house. That's not an issue. I thought you meant like something else for some reason. Oh, like my local Smiths, all of them have this little thing where you're like, if you go there and you've got kids, and they'll have like bananas and stuff like in an area, and you can grab one and they can snack on it while they're in the store. That's not for everyone here. That's not as difficult as you think it is. You can actually do that relatively easy. Just get the current going, and then from there you would plug a battery into it. Is what you would do, and that battery would get charged, and that battery charges your device. That way you have a constant flow of electricity. So he would have to charge the battery, get on it, and charge the battery, and then he could plug it in, and it would charge his tablet, and then he could keep pedaling, and it would keep the battery charged, and thus keep the tablet charged. It would take approximately, at the rate of charge, it would be dependent on the battery, but for that tablet, about an hour of pedaling in order to get it like 50% power. But then he would just have to keep pedaling while he watches, and he doesn't have to do like extreme pedaling at all. Again, would love to. Where we live, it's a little bit more difficult than just go out and do things. Hey, it sounds like you would go out and do things. It would be easy, but like when you live next to the highway, it's and there's a bunch of fucking construction. It's the construction that's really killing our ability to get out of the house. Because the problem is, in order to get out of our house, you have the driveway, right? So you have the driveway, and then you have the highway. So this is a perfect example. You have the highway. I have to go out here, highway. Right now, on top of that dangerous thing, which was already dangerous, but like we go here, we go this way, and then there's a bus stop within walking distance. That bus stop no longer exists currently because right now there's construction here and construction here and construction here and construction here. So like you've got cars that would normally, they just drive here. We wouldn't be concerned, and maybe they would drive there, and we would still have a nice little path to walk. Now the cars are driving everywhere we would fucking walk, so we can't leave the house safely. A pain in the ass. We have to get into the car to do it. Okay. So he's saying he's giving me time frames instead of like what parts is he meaning here? Hold on. Okay, so we're going to show the screen here. Chris is saying that wish he would just give me the line. Between 112 and 121. Have to have him do this at this point. 112. Can't even argue with you on that. That's an awesome lesson to teach them. That's okay. Let's just. I'm gonna take a moment. We're gonna rewind a little bit. He's saying that drags. There's a difference between dragging and while though I do agree with him to an extent that it does drag it, there's a difference between dragging and like having the sense of reality. Can't even argue with you on that. That's an awesome lesson. So he's telling me to cut this from here. Can't even argue with you on that. That's an awesome lesson to teach them. That's okay. Let's just. I'm going to take a moment. We're going to rewind a little bit. I believe. And 134. This is a canon. So I am cutting that out. This is a canon event. You need to go. Hold on, we need to. And then he wanted me to cut out. This is a canon event. 134 and 152. You need to go back. You can't change this. It's fixed point in time. Is he wanting me to cancel the fixed point in time? Yeah, of course. Because that's part of the Doctor Who joke. Fixed point in time? Yeah, of course. I didn't think that would work with you. And then all the way to 152. It doesn't matter how many times we've changed it. That's for the fans. That's a fourth wall break. Don't be smart with me. And then so go straight to here. So if I'm right, what he wants is. Can't even argue with you. Can't. This is a canon event. I can't. Something like this. This is a canon event. This is a canon event. You need to go back. You can't change this. It's exactly what type of Muggle science are. You can't change this. It's exactly what type of Muggle science are you going to teach them? That's the last thing we need is a bunch of mages who can also use technology. That's how you get Star Wars, Miss Frizzle. And then he wants to end it right there. So ever been chased by an angry bull? Mod say we like it as it is. I have reasons for adding in specific things, right? I do. They feel more real. There are parts where you want the call to feel more real. You want that to drag a little bit in certain areas. And then there's times you want to cut things and make them happen a little bit faster. If I'm right about these areas, which I'm just getting timetables, I'm not getting like specific lines to cut. If I'm right about where these are, again, you have that moment of reality. When you're handling a call, when you're doing something, it will feel more real if it gets dragged out a little bit for certain things. Whereas it will feel more staged if you cut too many things. So I have no problem with his feedback. I agree that like if I need to cut out a thing, let's cut out a thing. but I want to make sure I'm cutting out the right things. So he's gonna try to pop in because he's in a different chat. I'm live right now. So hopefully he can pop in and I can show him this, and this is what he's meaning. That way I get the right ones. Because I want to make sure that I'm cutting the right parts. So the parts you want me to cut, I believe, are around here.
Exactly. The parts that I suggest to cut, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you gave me timetables instead of lines, so that's the problem I'm having. I'm trying to make sure I cut it.
What exactly you're going to teach? A bunch of wizards?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree that violence isn't always the answer. Is a great lesson. This is a canon event.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go back. You can't change this. It's exactly what type of Muggle science are you going to teach them?
So you want me to cut out the fourth wall, which is just a fourth wall break.
You're right.
That's all that.
I don't think it adds to the video.
That's fine.
In this case.
And then you want me to cut out the lesson / that part before it. So this part, hold on. Because I can do that.
I feel like
argue with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
One
an
second.
awesome lesson to teach them. That's okay. I'm gonna take a moment. We're gonna rewind a little bit. This is a canon event. You need to go back.
Now, the reason why I like this is because it makes it feel real. Like you're taking a moment with a customer that's being kind of difficult, right? So that's a real moment.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying for the flow of the video, it feels like it does this. It feels like it comes up and it kind of pauses and dips right there and then comes back up again right to the same point. It's not hurting the video, but it's not helping the video either.
And then right here,
Fixed point in time.
that's a Doctor Who thing.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
So that's why I don't want to cut that.
No, fixed point in time should still be there.
Weave.
Okay. Because that was part of the time frame. I was like, I'm guessing. Yeah. So
Yeah, of course. I didn't think that would work with you.
so it'd be right here, which would be the 140 marker.
It doesn't matter how many times we've
You
changed.
just
That's
want me to
for
cut this part out.
fans.
So cutting out this part.
Like so, again, keep in mind this wasn't me saying to you cut these parts or else. It was just me saying if you want my opinion, it's the strongest version would be cutting these parts out.
No. I get that. I was trying to make sure if I had lines, it's a lot easier to be like, okay, cut this here.
But regardless, I think cutting it at that's how you get Star Wars. That should be the button of the video.
I wrote that extra bit just to write that extra bit. I thought about the same thing when I was writing the Star Wars line. I was like, that's the button right there.
Ultimately, yeah, if you would allow me to make only one change to the video, that's the only change that I would make is cut it at Star Wars and leave the rest.
I think if we cut it at Star Wars, we have the real moment. And even though that the fourth wall breaks does drag it and doesn't help it, it's also the only part that I could feel that I could agree 100% should cut, because everything else is like, we need that real moment, even though it doesn't quote unquote help the video. It feels like a real call versus a scripted.
If you think that, which you clearly do, and a lot of the chat does also. Cool.
Yeah, they were telling me while I was and I wasn't paying attention to them. I was talking to you. I was like, okay, you're saying this, and they were like, no, leave it is. And I'm like, I have to look at what he means.
Yeah. Jeremy, I rarely put my foot down and say you cannot do this. to Levi. Usually it's just he asks my opinion and I give it to him, same as he gives me his.
And and it's the same thing. There'll be moments, especially with a specific IP or references, that I'll be like, "Hey, you have to." I've had him redo a video because he had to add in a reference. I'm like, "You missed a fucking good opportunity
Right.
to add this in." Or there's been like versions of videos. This has happened a lot where we got to cut this out.
Xena. I feel like, and this is just me. I feel like a lot of these responses are as if I literally was like, make these changes or you're off the channel. You know, like...
Wait, hold on.
This thing we need is a bunch of mages who can also use technology. That's how you get Star Wars, Miss Frizzle.
And I agree, the Star Wars line is a great button. The last bit is just a fun bit lore fact. It's not necessary. The fourth wall break, although I do like, if I felt that I could do this again and cut it, I would agree with Chris. But the audience is telling us, no, keep it. So we're gonna keep it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's all one cut, one take. So just cut it at Star Wars and you're good to go. That was just my feedback, which he asked for. But now I have to go. I hope everyone's having a great night. I gotta go pick up my kid.
2 seconds. Since it's already uploaded, do you want to go ahead and edit it? Because you got to send it to the Cameo request anyways.
I will edit it tomorrow or when I get home later and send it, and then I will schedule it for tomorrow.
Okay.
Right. Also, just curiosity, today's video was done like super quick, but we had to get something out. So what'd y'all think of it?
I haven't had a chance to watch it. When did you post it? An hour? It's looking like it's doing pretty good.
About an hour. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. About an hour ago.
Yeah. I honestly don't know enough about Guts to pop in there. Like I'll watch it real quick with the audience, and I can give you my feedback. You got to go get Kate.
Yeah,
they're telling you that they liked it though.
Bye. Imagine Medieval Doom guy. All right, bye.
All right. So we're gonna watch the Predators versus Guts from Berserk. And for everyone here, the fact that I said I don't know, like I know who Guts is. It was one of those animes that I could not get into it because of how bloody it was at the time. I may, and now that it's never gonna finish, I don't know if I want to get into it. But we're gonna give this a watch.
Or this is John. What's with all the screaming? Who's taking out half of you? How many is half of you?
I feel like it would be funner to hear.
24. This. How long did that take?
This should be one that gets animated.
3 minutes. Who the hell are you fighting?
And it's just a bunch of predators.
Intestines. You fighting some kind of tube creature or something? I mean, hold on. Are you describing your opponent, or is that the name of who you're fighting? Are you sure the name is Intestines? Intestines. Wait. Is the name Guts? Is he wearing armor? That's why half of you are already dead. He's in the Berserker armor. No. Listen, okay? Even without the armor, he's a horrible matchup for you. That huge sword he's got, it's 300 plus pounds. He swings the thing at supersonic speeds. He's way faster than you are. With the Berserker armor? I mean, the thing resists heat and impact, so your plasma casters are like a non-factor. All right, and the armor also removes all of his physical limiters and lets him ignore pain and injuries, so it gets even stronger and faster in it. Your active camo is useless because he's possessed by the Beast of Darkness when he's wearing the armor, which can help him sense malice and bloodlust, so he's going to be able to target you by your killing intent alone. Look, the only real option you have here, and it kind of kills the whole point of hunting him anyway, is to set off all your self-destruct gauntlets all at once and see if that does him in. There's only 3 of you left? Oh. 2 of you. Well, then yeah. definitely not going to win.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, like, you know how he came on already. Since we have a rare opportunity for me to give the exact same thing. I love the start of this.
John, what's with all the screaming?
That was an amazing start. Love that.
Who's taking out half of you? Huh, preacher or something? I mean,
from an editing perspective and like knowing what to look out for, I can tell every time he's reaching his arm over, he's scrolling and looking at like his notes or his script.
Hold on. Are you describing your opponent, or is that the name of who you're fighting? Are you sure the name is Intestines? Intestines. Wait. Is the name Guts? Is he wearing armor? That's why half of you are already dead. He's in the Berserker armor.
Now, right here, we get into a bunch of expo. And yeah, here's the reason why it felt like it lacked a punchline. You guys know how he was giving me comments on mine, and I do agree that, like, we have a moment here where it feels real. Okay, I agree that violence isn't always the answer is a great lesson. I can't even argue with you on that. That's an awesome lesson. So we're still up. That's okay. Let's just. This is where it doesn't go down
a little bit. This is a canon event.
But now we're in the same. I'm doing the same thing Chris is doing here.
No.
I do it for shorter time frame.
Even without the armor, he's a horrible matchup for you. That huge sword he's got, it's 300 plus pounds. He swings the thing at supersonic speeds.
That would have been fine. And then him going, and then but him
way
going
faster than you are with the Berserker armor.
That's fine.
I mean, the thing resists.
You don't need to go into to more. It could have been skipped all the way to right here. If he had cut like 25 seconds.
The only real option you have here, and it kind of kills the whole point of hunting him anyway, is to set off all your self-destruct with the Berserker armor. I mean, the thing.
And then just cut right to here.
Look, the only real option you have here, and it kind of kills the whole point of hunting him anyway, is to set off all your self-destruct.
That would have been really good.
All at once, and see if that does him in.
So that's for everyone here. When he was talking to me about that is the exact same thing of what he's meaning. Is the and I get it. A lot of people do like that. Me doing the expo right here with Miss Frizzle, and then doing the fourth wall break
event. You need to go back. You can't change this. It's fixed point in time. Yeah, of course. I didn't think that would work with you. It doesn't matter how many times we've changed it. That's for the fans.
That's expo. That's me doing expo, but with our own lore and stuff. And Steven, what he should have done here, in my opinion, is, you know how he did there's only 3 of you left? Boom. Two of you.
Well,
he should have had
he
should have had a boom, another moment. 1. That would have been the call. That would have been your button. Ow, I just hurt my ear, and that's the ear I just had a paper patch in. Oh. That doesn't hurt. That one hurts. You see where he does that. Instead of saying you definitely know. If he would have said 1, never mind. That would have been your funny moment. But instead he went, you're definitely not going to win. You get the feel that it should have been 3, 2, 1, never mind. They already lost. That would have been, yeah. That would have been a stronger sketch, but it's pretty much the same feedback that he gave me. Cut it on a better button or make that button better. And while though it didn't hurt his video, not entirely, there's a bunch of expo that isn't necessary for most of our audience. There is a subset of audience that's going to like it. And a bunch of you guys like the Miss Frizzle stuff. But it's the same feedback. I did not change the hot link. Things are kind of broken. I'm sorry, guys. A bunch of the links and stuff are broken. We need to probably create new bots and stuff and get them all added to everything so that they work properly. Thank you, Andrew, for the thing. God, I don't even know what I should do when it comes to the links and stuff at this point. I'm gonna have to talk to Chris, and we're gonna have to like figure out like what do we all want. And then I have to go through the process of creating a bot that will work on wherever I need it to work on. There's a bunch of resources, streaming and elsewise, and I have to like make sure that they function the way that they need to function. And it's a lot of work that I didn't want to have to do because I did a lot of that work already, and things aren't functioning. I don't know if Stream Elements is still up and running. Yeah, that's the Villain Merch store. If you guys want stuff outside of that, my spouse, we have stickers. This is one of Slayer's things. This isn't actually on the shop yet because we wound up having a problem because these are transfer stickers. When I go to do this, the whisker comes off. Now, it's not a huge issue, but if I'm selling these, I don't want the whisker to come off. Dora the Horror. Buy your summer shirts there. Absolutely. I love those too, and that's its own game. We have the Predator versus Spider-Man as an example here of that game of John. I'm going to do John's line, and then I'll switch to Levi. So John goes, do you have any idea how many people wear red, white, and blue costumes? They have a cape. Okay. So no cape. They have a cape? Okay, so no cape eliminates. I don't know why they have a cape. Do they have a cape? I don't know. Hopefully he didn't record that already. Do they have a cape? Okay, so no cape. That eliminates like 58% of your possibilities right there. Edna would approve. Do they have a helmet? A mask. Okay, what? He sprayed you with white sticky goo, looks at the camera, looks disgusted, takes a breath. The same stuff he swings around on. Okay, as much as I love playing 20 questions with y'all, is there a spider logo on his costume? I'll give you one guess of what hero with a spider on their chest is called. No, not Bite Man. There's a spider on his chest. He's called Spider-Man. That's not actually true. And he doesn't actually say the Spider-Man. We actually cut to Levi saying Spidey. And then Levi has kind of a smaller version of that game. We already know that John's talking to the Predators. But Levi doesn't quite know that. Levi finds that out within his first 3 questions. And while I'm having my lines, I might very well cut this differently. I'm going to have all this recorded as it is. But when I go to edit it, I might have do you have any idea how many people wear red, white, and blue costumes? Do they have a cape? Edna would approve. A mask? Is there a spider on their costume? Spidey, you fight aliens on the reg. I'm going to need a bit more than one ugly motherfucker that needs a breath mint. Do they have a helmet, a mask? You know, like I would figure it out based on how things are. And then maybe I'll change in its entirety how I do things. It'll kind of depend on me editing it the way it's written, because I wrote this. And then looking at it and go, do I like this or do I want to move things around so that I can make the game, this one, stronger, or does me going back and forth like what we're doing make it worse and hurt the video? I won't know until we record it, to be honest, because reading it feels good both here and when we've read it out loud. But sometimes when you record it and you get in front of the editing and you see how it looks, it feels entirely different. And yes, Cosmic Kitties has a variety of stuff. In fact, here soon we're going to be having the a la carte booty mouse pads. I wouldn't cut that so much as like rearrange where lines are. I don't want to cut any of these lines. They've been fine-tuned quite a bit, but I may insert my stuff a little bit sooner into the sketch. Like John has a moment. Levi's, well, for starters, are they humanoidish? That would kind of narrow it down. So like if John has do you have any idea how many people wear red, white, and blue costumes? Well, for starters, are they humanoid-ish? That would kind of narrow it down. John having a moment of, do they have a cape? Okay, so no cape. Eliminates 50% of your possibilities right there. Edna would approve. Oh, has a mandibles. Do they open like weird, creepy fanged mouth wings? Was he wearing a mask at first? But you also have the Spidey, you fight aliens on the regular. But if I say Spidey, you fight aliens on the regular, that gives it away too quick. So it's a matter of like, I'm gonna record all my lines, see where I'm at, and then kind of go from there. I might very well cut out the well, for starters, are the humanoid-ish, and just have him immediately go with the mandibles part, right? Or well, for starters, are the humanoid-ish after he says the red, white, and blue, and then have John do the rest of his lines, and then we get back to Levi saying, Spidey, I'm going to need more than one ugly motherfucker, that line. It's kind of, I'll play around with it when I get it. Spider-Man's going to be fighting the Predators, and Predators are going to be fighting this Spider-Man. We got to record that sketch. But Miss Frizzle is done. I got to do Predators versus Samus. Who here has played Samus Metroid Fusion? Fusion. Yeah, Metroid Fusion. I need a little bit of assistance before I call it a night. And like we'll probably I gotta work on this tomorrow. So there's a good chance. Great, I can't. Let me fix something. Stop having all that. That's an annoying thing. Oh, that's fucking lovely. I'm gonna just do this. There. Up. Move the trash. Up. And then up there. He played a few of the Metroid games. Spider-Sense dodging all the shots into a window of sticky white goo. It's like he's studying this. Spidey calls up complaining that he's teamed up with Deadpool again. Musing thought, somehow working in the line, I'm a bit of a scientist myself. With as much with as how often I am wrong on things, absolutely. The difference between a good somebody who likes science, a scientist, and somebody who's good at it and that kind of stuff is quite literally being able to accept that you're going to be wrong more than you are right. Like I have met full-on people who have degrees who absolutely have to be correct. They have to be right. And then you have people like Bill Nye, and a few other people in the science community that are really, really popular and who outright say you're going to be wrong more often than you are right. And I think that that's really important. I had a great science teacher, loved him. That was his thing too. He said that all the time. You're going to be wrong more than you're right. A good scientist understands that they're going to have more failures than you are going to have successes, and that's part of being a scientist. Is learning what went wrong and how to change it, because you can learn more from your mistakes than you can from your successes. Agreed. Degrees kind of like are finicky. Yep, you learn more from when you are wrong. Didn't realize how bad that is. I didn't realize how bad what is. Anyways, so Metroid Prime Fusion. Trying to figure this out. Predators hunt Samus during the events of Metroid Fusion. You can see some of the conversation that we had. So this is around the time the Metroid Fusion is around the time like when they defeated an enemy, you'd get like a power up or you get health and that kind of stuff. The question here is like, because it's so, instead of it just being Predators versus Samus, it is Predators versus Samus during the events of Metroid Fusion. What happens during the events of Metroid Fusion that make that so that the important part? Is there, like, I don't want to walk through. I don't want to guide. I don't want to use the AI mode. What happens? Ew. I don't know how much of that's accurate. I don't like using the AI because it's wrong so many times. Just gonna go to DuckDuckGo. It's a walkthrough. I'm not looking for a walkthrough. Here we go. Wiki. Does anyone else want to give me a quick breakthrough? Very different from other Metroid games. That is very linear. See, that's not something that was in the AI. Introduces non-playable cybernetic entity called Adam. Oh goodness. Who provides Samus with specific objectives, thus making sequence breaking and free exploration nearly impossible until the end game. Players who were qualified as Nintendo 3D ambassadors received a free downloadable copy. That was cool. The game was released on Virtual Console for Wii U and then re-released through Nintendo Switch Online. Oh, I could probably go play the game. A sequel, Metroid Dread, was released on the 21st, more than 19 years after Fusion. That's probably why. The The game begins with Samus acting as a bodyguard for the biotech research team. Eventually, a Hornode confronts them and is killed by Samus. However, as it dies, a globularly yellow organism emerges and enters Samus's body. Parents killed by space pirates. Samus. Parents killed by space pirates, bounty hunter, and cybernetic power suit. Feeling no initial effects, continues escorting the research, completes assignments on the way back. However, she loses consciousness, crashes into an asteroid. The ship's emergency system ejects the pod, saving her from the crash, but her gunship is completely destroyed. Samus, quickly attended by a medical crew, who discover that the creatures entered her body. It was actually a parasitic organism they soon named X. The crew was forced to surgically remove the infected power suit, though it cannot be completely removed since it became so tightly integrated with her body. However, it cannot be removed from her central nervous system. She's given less than 1% chance of survival. Metroids are the only known predator of X. However, since Samus destroyed all the Metroids in a previous mission, the X were able to resurface and multiply on check. Seeing this as the key to curing her, the doctors propose using a cell from Samus's dead to make an anti-X vaccine. Apparently, the Federation has managed to preserve a cell culture from the infant that saved Samus while she was on Zerberus the second time. Jesus, this is heavy. The serum is prepared and ejected without delay. How the fuck do you want me to do a Predator versus the events of this? What? Somebody give me an idea of how to do. So she's dealing with an infected suit. Samus discovers that X have used the infected portions of her power suit to create a copy of Samus herself, dubbed SAX. Since it arose from the Samus fully upgraded suit, it has all of her powered up abilities as evidence. So, should that be what we do? Are you fighting Samus? Or are you fighting her clones? Also, if I'm having to do it during the events of that, how do I explain it that it's during those specific events without getting into a giant lore drop and having to just do the title giveaway? I feel like Samus saving the Predators is definitely the way to go, but I'm trying to figure out here. Yeah, that's not what they paid for. I'll be honest, like I'm not even getting paid, but I don't really know here because I have to be specific as to the timeline of it. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm having a little bit of difficulty here. How do I get people to understand this isn't an upgraded Samus, but rather the clone? This is really, really difficult. This is this is one of those where it sounds like it's going to be an easy one, but then you find out more information, and it's super fucking difficult. Short of just ignoring the Metroid Fusion part and just doing a Predator versus Samus through the Predator's scanners. Scanners may be a fix. I can talk to Samus. If I talk to Samus SAX, because I'm not seeing Dark Samus in this. This is Predator's Metroid Fusion. Does Dark Samus have a part in this? Because like from what I'm reading, Dark Samus isn't in this, at least not yet. So if I took the call from Samus's side, which according to the way that this works might work. That would be a way. Why don't you just so it'd be something along the lines of, Samus, who are you fighting? Blah, 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 blah. Predators? Oh, they shouldn't pose any threat to you. What do you mean you don't have your powers? What happened to all your powers? Such and such. Oh, snap. I still don't think that they're a threat for you. Go that line? Should that be it? Like I'm talking to Samus? No suit Samus would still wreck. Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Not really. That's the problem. Samus without a suit, Samus gets the suit. That's basically the difference. And like if you go the Predator route and it's no suit Samus, you find no suit Samus, but at the same time, there's multiple games that you need to turn around and get her suit back. So like it's kind of annoying. I have to find a way to describe this as the events of this thing going on. So one of the ways I could do it is that no suit Samus calls in. We find out it's the Predators. I go, I still don't think that they're a threat for you. In fact, they could probably be, a help, Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. We find out that she, we start the call as like, hey, what's going on? Oh, you don't have your abilities? Why don't you have your abilities? Find out that what happened, lore dump, right? Okay, then who are you fighting right now? Find out who they're fighting. They're fighting the Predators. I don't really think that they're there, although you could probably use them to upgrade some of your stuff. Tell them what they have on them. Boom. Now Samus has upgrades and health. Do you think that's how we should do it? Galactus? Really? The guy who eats planets? There's certain ones I'm just not. It's just too ridiculous to do. So that's the one. That's like we've had ones where people call out the absurdity of it, and the Predators versus Kevin McAllister was definitely one of those. But it was like, everyone appreciated it. But it was still one of those things where it's like Galactus is even further out there than that. That is a person who literally eats planets. I'm thinking of the right guy, right? I'm thinking of the. I see. Hold on. Yeah, I'm thinking of the right guy. Okay. I had to make sure. I was like, God, I'm thinking of the right guy. Am I having a moment where I'm thinking of the wrong guy? Do the Predators versus Transformer Prime Unicorns rock? You know, we're trying to figure this out, guys. Let's rewind. Predators versus Samus. So what if we did? Let's do a rough draft of the Predators versus Samus bit, and or during Metroid Fusion. Samus, I can't see you having any trouble with anyone. Samus, I can't see you having issues with pretty much anyone, really. You're fully powered. You don't have your suit. That's where I need to start. Samus, I don't see how you could have. You don't have your suit. What happened to your suit? Parasite named X. Send me the info on that. Infected your power suit. There's a copy of you? Like a full-on clone? Are we talking about the other clone? SAX. Okay. Okay. I need to rewind and do this because I heard myself and it sounded way bad and I can't have that. Three, two, one. Hold on, let's get some drink. Samus, I can't see you having trouble with a whole lot of opponents. Samus, I really don't see you having issues with. You don't have your suit. Ooh, yeah, that would provide you with some type of challenge, at least. Why don't you have your suit? I'm sorry. Did you just say a parasite? Send me the info on that. Parasite called X. Infected portions of your power suit. There's a copy of you running around? Why is it called SA-X? Oh, it's the fully upgraded suit. Okay. Okay, no, I see it. I get why you're calling and asking for some info on. Okay, so then who are you fighting? Aliens with upgraded weaponry is not a whole lot of info to go on. Mandibles. Did they turn invisible and bleed green? I kind of just figured you would have caused them to bleed, to be honest. Okay, those are the Yautja. Good news. You're probably going to be able to take them on relatively easily once you find them. And use their weapons to upgrade what you currently have. I mean, they have like missile launchers, a nuke on their wrist. They can turn invisible. So I don't know if they'll drop little orbs of health. Maybe. Can you? Oh, that was very graphic sounding. Lots of squishy. They did. Okay. Apparently, the Predators drop health orbs. And you now have their rocket launchers. I guess if you kill enough of them, you'll be able to get the camouflage. You're making me feel bad for the Yautja. Don't. I hate it when people make me feel bad for them. Ooh. We had to do a lore drop. Okay. So that's a rough draft. I'll probably send that to Chris. I'll probably take a look at it and then I'll send it to Chris. I'll get some feedback on how to like improve that starting point and talk with him about it. It almost feels necessary. You feel like you missed something awesome? We're gonna take a look at it. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna upload this to Dropbox. Is what I'm gonna do. I have to rename it once it's uploaded, anyways. Different reality equals different physics, Levi. I'm not even dead. This is so humiliating. Plasma launchers. It's a game reality. Why not? So we're gonna upload it. We're gonna download it. We're gonna take a look at it. We've got a little bit of a draft. There's some good stuff in there. At least it felt like there was some good stuff in there to work with. And so be mean to the kitty while we're waiting. I don't know if you guys can hear her purring, but she's purring. Oh yeah. All right, it's downloaded. Recents. Rename. That's the cameo draft. What happened to the what the fuck happened to my thing? Went all screwy. That's weird. Okay. What happened to my video that I just uploaded. Okay. So I don't know why it decided to be all funky and weird and not rename it, but I've got it now. Da-da. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Yep, there we go. Is that the cat that likes pats? Yes. Want some more? Pat, 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 pat. Okay, so we're back. We're good. Boom. We're gonna fix this so it starts where we need it to.
Samus, I can't see you having trouble with a whole lot of the poke. Samus, I really don't see you having issues with challenge.
Stop it.
Why don't you have your suit? I'm sorry. Did you just say a parasite? Send me the info on that. Parasite called X. Beckett. Samus, I really don't see you having issues with some type of challenge, at least. Why don't you have your suit? I'm sorry. Did you just say a parasite? Send me the info on that.
So we need to fix the start.
I really don't see you having issues with type of challenge, at least. Why don't you have your suit? I'm sorry. Did you just say a parasite? Send me the info on it. Parasite called X. Beckett power. There's a copy of you running around? Why is it called SA-X? Oh, it's the fully upgraded suit. Okay. Okay, no, I see it. I get why you're calling and asking for some info on who you're fighting.
It takes almost a full minute to do a lore drop on this.
With upgraded weaponry. Green. Okay, those are the Yao-Chip. Good news. You're probably going to be able to take them on relatively easily, which is fine. And use their weapons to upgrade what you currently have. I mean, they have like missile launchers, nuke on their wrist. They can.
So we need to fix that beginning of it. That beginning. Okay, 1 second. Can you see? All right, 1 second. There you go. You angry at me? What you gonna do? Yeah, you too. All right. Go back to your super spot. Are you gonna stay up there? You're gonna go back to your spot. You're gonna stay up there now? No, she's gonna stay up here. So we need to do we need to drop floor. We need to do a lore drop. Have it be within like 10 to 15 seconds that she's fighting someone, then do a lore drop, figure out the thing. They really wouldn't be a challenge for her either. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. They still wouldn't be that much of a challenge for Samus. I like the tail end of the sketch. Fucking train. I think I know how to do this. So God, I don't know here. Either I have to do a large expo dump. Somehow, I've got to find a way to tie this all in nice in a nice, neat bow. Samus, I know you've been wanting a challenge for yourself, but going without your suit doesn't seem like the smartest thing in the world to do. Yeah. A parasite. Yeah, I can see that being I can see a parasite infecting you being a bit of an issue. Next thing you know, there's going to be God. This was either trying to attack while I clean or sees my kitties. And I vote short with a link to a full lore dump video. And see, Logan, this is a cameo. I honestly like this is and again I've mentioned this before. I don't get paid for these. I'm not gonna see this nearly as beneficial. It's nice because I get, hey, do this, do here, and it is a bit of a challenge. So I'm accepting the challenge, and I'm accepting it because it is there. I do wish it was a little bit easier. If it was just Samus versus the Predators, it would be so much easier, and I wouldn't have to try to do a lore dump about Metroid Fusion and explain why she doesn't have her suit and why she's going to be using them as upgrade. I could do it from the side of the Predators and just be like, you pick probably the. I can do it from the side of the predators. What abilities does she have at the start of the game? Could they have picked up some upgrades? No, we're not. Just give me a minute. You're telling me that the person that you're fighting is where? I don't like it. This feels more like a John call. If it's from the Predator side, describing them. I have no problem dealing with the Predators, but that's not how my character would deal with them most times. And I still have to try to establish the lore that's happening within this in order for you to understand that it's Metroid Fusion. Turning into a ball, power beam, wall jump, those are still all standard things. I'd have to describe a specific suit. Fucking hell. If the lore drop wasn't necessary in some fashion, this would be an incredibly easier thing to do. This would be one of those things that it's become overcomplicated. And at a certain point, and me and Chris have done these before, where we have this great idea and we go, we need to dumb this down and just scrap trying to place it in a specific point, and it's just the characters. I'm wondering if he can ask if we can just do Predator versus Samus. Because trying to specify in the fusion is what's causing the problem right now. Every time I think of a way to add the lore, it's going to drag the sketch completely down. And because I have to either A, find a way to describe the lore in the middle of it, B, do it at the start, and no way are we going to find out at the end, because that doesn't work as a sketch, because otherwise you don't know who you're fighting or what you're fighting until the end. And even if you can kind of make it funny, you wind up screwing up getting rid of the lore stuff. No, even like if I did something specific, if I did like one thing and it was a if you know, you know, it's still a Predator versus Samus with a tiny bit of lore. And in that case, that's easy to do. I could do any number of things that I wanted to for that, but that doesn't really fall into what they were asking. It was in the events. Like, their exact wording was the Predators hunt Samus during the events of Metroid Fusion. The other part is she's going to use them as a power-up in health. And that's exactly how I would handle this call, is that she would be using them as health and whatnot. I don't know. This requires a lore drop, or honestly, I might have to just come back to this. If we don't have somebody that can and they anything that they would fight there, like the clone and everything, I don't know where to go with this. It's overcomplicated. That's the problem. Building it up would be easy. No, the predators would likely get eaten by it. And that's the, again, that falls into the, by the time you figure it out, it drags the sketch down rather than up. I'm not saying that I can't forcibly just go, oh, this is during the events of this, or just use a tagline up top that, we just say, hey, during this, and we talk to them like that. We could totally do that. I could totally scrap talking about the lore overall and just talk to the predators. At that point, though, that's more of a Chris call. That's more John taking that call, saying, hey, no, this, and this, and this, and this. This is where his 20 plus years of experience comes into play. Going on 30 years of experience of improv. This is such there's a thing in improv where specifics help, but if you get too specific, it can actually hurt the sketch. There's a middle ground of specifics. You want to have specifics, but you don't want the sketch itself to be too specific. Ooh, I scratched myself pretty hard there. Like, you don't need the name of the coffee shop, but you're going to a coffee shop, right? And inside that coffee shop, you're going to go sit down at a green table. But we don't have like, oh, you walk into a coffee shop, there's 6 people there, and you're going to go sit down at a green table. That is writing out the sketch in an entirely different way. We're keeping it simple for other things, but the moment you start adding all these other details, that is a visualization of the sketch versus just an open-ended improv type of thing. If we were to go back and forth, this would work. Same thing with this. Like, Levi going, John, what the hell are the Yautja doing in the Metroid Fusion universe? Metroid universe during Fusion events? It's still so fucking... I could do a fourth wall break with the name of the fucking thing. You're getting attacked by a parasite called X. I don't like Twitter's new name either, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a parasite. Well, there's plenty of them on there. I feel like that might be political, though. That would establish it, though. I have an idea. I think he just liked them. Oh, he just sent me something. Okay. Looks like he just sent me something that has AI in it, so I'm probably not going to watch it right now. Look, Samus, no one likes the fact that Twitter changed its name to X, but calling it a parasite is going a little bit far. Oh, like an actual parasite named X. Oh, I am so sorry. Oh, you lost your suit. That's probably going to make things a little bit more interesting for sure. But what now? What do the new aliens look like? Of course. Yeah. The mandibles and ugly kind of gave it away. Actually, they're called the Yautja, and they have rocket-mounted like lasers and plasma guns and all kinds of tech on them. They can turn invisible. Yeah, that's some upgrades for you. Oh, I don't even want to know what you did. The sound alone is going to haunt me. They dropped an orb? Yeah, game universe. Sure, why not? And you've got their plasma cannon. Well, I suppose that's one way to gear up. How many more are there? I almost feel sorry for them. Well, I guess you can fuse some of their tech onto you. Good luck. Oh, there was a couple different cut points there. It's super short, sweet, and to the point. I wonder if that's barely too long. I think that one works better though. I'm going to upload that one, download that one, and take that. And take a look at that one. The feel of it feels better though than the previous one. I feel like them just barging in, running into Samus, and then Samus doing that thing is probably the best bet I'm going to get. Because at the end of the day, I have to explain a bunch of stuff. I have to do some type of expo that isn't fun. Unless I break that expo up into a couple videos, or I make a much longer video than is necessary. Again, this is Cameo. It's supposed to be a super short, quick, to the point thing. I don't have the ability to read that. In fact, I'm going to delete that first draft off of there. Why is this not doing the things I needed to do? I just tried to delete the draft, and it decided that it didn't want to delete the draft. Far off on the screen. I'm going to have to edit it. I'm taking a look at this, but I think this works much better than this other one, because this other one is still a very lore drop heavy sketch, whereas this one feels a little bit more defined. provided I can, you know, have it let me edit what I need to edit. What the hell? Hold on. Sometimes I have to reset things. There it goes. Whoop. It's not much of a change. I don't really need to change it too much. I just needed to center my screen a little bit more.
Samus, no one likes the fact that Twitter changed its name to X. Calling it a parasite is going a little bit far. Oh, like an actual parasite named X. Oh, I am so sorry.
Boom. If you know you're in Metro Fusion.
That's probably going to make things a little bit more interesting for sure.
She lost her suit.
What now? What do the new aliens look like?
We now have new aliens. It's now bam, bam, bam. We've now gone up.
Yeah. The mandibles and ugly kind of gave it away. No. Actually, they're called the Yautja, and they have rocket-mounted like lasers and plasma guns and all kinds of attack bomb evade. Yeah, that's some upgrades for you.
We're up a little bit more.
Oh,
we hear a visceral sound.
I don't even want to know. Sound alone is going to haunt me. They dropped an orb?
Now we're like, what?
Yeah, sure, why not? And you got the plasma thing. Well, I suppose that's one way to gear up. How many more are there? I almost feel sorry for them.
That's the button right there. I almost feel sorry for them. That is the button. So this is the draft I have. I'm going to send this on over to Chris. This is a very good way without having to dive. Yeah, boardroom sketches type of thing is great, but they don't do well. Like we've done super deep lore sketches before, and without building it up, it makes it very, very difficult to do well. Um, 0531. 05. Yeah, never mind. I figured he wouldn't let me. So I'm just going to send him this one. It's still very rough. It's me without a script. Trying to dump lore into it versus just up the game and have fun with it. But I am still expanding this game a little bit more. We don't have any sound effects or anything like that going on because we don't have any voice work with it. I'm going to see what he says. It's not great. It could be better, but I'm tired. I've been live for 2 hours. I normally take Sundays off. I'm going to call it. I want to thank you guys for joining me, help me try to iron this out. I think I have a framework now at the very minimum for the Samus sketch, and then we have a couple other videos to do. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. I don't know how much I'm going to work tomorrow. It might just be during the morning live stream. I will be live in the morning, though. Or at least I'll try to be. Probably shouldn't make a promise. Kids and summer break, and then coming back from everything, I have been like really wonky in a lot of different areas. But I wish you all peace of mind, strength, body, spirit, and harmony, among others. Remember to take it one breath, one step, one day at a time. Until the winds blow your sails our way again, you all have an Acme Day. And have an Acme Day is part of the villain. Have an Acme Day where we retroactively build to your account. Have an Acme Day. And have an Acme Day simply means the best day you possibly can have. Bye now.